again, everybody. I'm Shakia Mayer. I'm a licensed mental health therapist and personal development coach for professional millennial women. And I help women get clear, confident, and in control of their lives. And I do this with my coaching programs. And I wanted to hop on really quickly. This won't be long. And talk to you about why hard work is stopping you from the success that you want to have. So I was having a conversation with somebody, and this person was telling me all about, their work ethic, right? And so here's the thing. Of course, we want to have a solid work ethic because you want to make sure that you can get a job. If you don't have a good work ethic, that's going to, that's going to come across and you run the risk of getting fired and what have you. So I'm not saying that you don't want to work hard. But if your main focus is working hard and being the busy bee and being the worker bee, that's all you're ever going to be. So back to the story, I'm having the conversation with somebody, and essentially they were saying that they show up early, they leave late, they are handing in all of their assignments, they're doing everything that they feel they are supposed to do, and it's not being recognized. So this person still hasn't gotten a raise. This person still hasn't been promoted. And now they're questioning, because now it's impacting their sense of self, their confidence level, their confidence. And now they're questioning, what's going on? What am I doing? And what I tell people, a lot of the time, and especially with this particular person, is so we have to go beyond just this idea of work hard, work hard, work hard. A lot of us are taught when we're younger that we have to work hard in order to be successful. But that it's more to the story. And side note, a lot of the things that we were taught when we were younger, it's BS. And we have to do a lot of unlearning because it's unhealthy. I'm really practicing not talking so much with my hands, and it is so challenging for me, so bear with me. But yeah, a lot of the things that we were taught are unhealthy. A lot of the ways that we cope with our emotions, how we handle stress, unhealthy. But anyway, that's a different topic. For the purpose of this video, because I don't want it to be long, I'm going to just focus on this idea that you have to work hard, work hard, work hard, to the point where when you're working so much and you don't have a balance, that you start to feel physically sick. People forget that everything's connected, right? There's this connection between mind, body, and spirit. And so if you are overworking yourself in one area, you're also going to be lacking in those other areas as well. So the more that you they do. I'm trying to read the comments. I don't have my glasses on, y'all. So the more that a person is working hard without a clear goal or clear vision, they feel as if it is pointless. So this is the purpose of this video, to talk about why you don't just want to be a worker bee. If you are showing up every single day and you're showing up early, you're leaving late, you're working through your lunch breaks, which is, by the way, all these things, if you're doing them, stop, because it's so unhealthy for your mental health, and it'll have you age and stress out a whole lot faster than you would. You have to pace yourself. But I digress. So if you are showing up and you are handing in all of your assignments, you're doing everything that your supervisors are asking you to do, and you still haven't gotten a raise, you still haven't gotten the promotion that you want, you have to look at what it is that you're doing. Either you're with a company that doesn't value you, and in that case, it might be time to, move on, right? I believe in choice, and so you don't have to stay anywhere where you're not valued. And you also have to You have to show your skills, your leadership skills. There is no way that that a company will, because at the end of the day, a lot of these companies and organizations, they're looking at the bottom line, okay? They're looking at their money and numbers. And so in order for you to make more money in this company and in this position, in order for you to be promoted at this company, wherever you're working, you have to show that you are capable of, leading. Are you a leader? Can you manage a team? Can you take on multiple projects at once? And I want you to think about this in terms of wherever it is that you work. Depending on where we work, the requirements or what's expected of us is going to be a little bit different. But what are you doing to show that you are more than just a worker bee? Now, let me just put a dime in the meter and stop here for a minute. I am in no way, I don't want it to come off as if I am like judging people who are in jobs where they're on this, treadmill and all they do is work. If that's the position you're in and that's what you enjoy doing, then go ahead. This video is for the people who want to elevate. This video is for the people who want to level up because you're sick and tired of just being the worker bee. So if you are sick and tired of just being the worker bee, then you have to come to the table prepared. What are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the boardroom? What are you bringing to the conference room? You can't just show up, type, and, hand in this. You have to take initiative. So at a lot of my jobs, so I'm the type of person where I'm going to do what I feel is necessary, and then I'll handle the consequences if there are any, instead of asking for permission. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that, but I will do that because, if you are only waiting for somebody to tell you what to do, that doesn't allow you to be creative. It doesn't allow you to take initiative. It doesn't allow you to get closer to what your goals are. Sometimes, people get caught up in these boxes. They say, this is my job, this is my title, and that's it. But you can use your job to help you with whatever your purpose is in life. You don't have to just get caught up in what this title is. If you're in a job where it's customer service, and maybe you don't want to do customer service for the rest of your life, but you enjoy talking to people, then every day you show up, you be the best customer service rep that you can be. You use whoever comes into your office, you use whoever gets on your phone as practice for who you're going to be in the future. You have to have a clear vision and a clear goal, because then you're going to give yourself something to work toward. But if you just show up as Shakia, the fill in the title, and that's all you're going to do, then your position is not going to change. Your paycheck is not going to change. It'll always stay at that fixed salary. And it goes back, I've been talking a lot about confidence and limiting beliefs. And there's actually a video I'm working on now that I realized I have not posted yet, but that's okay. But I've been talking a lot about confidence and limiting beliefs. And a lot of this goes back to the limiting beliefs. Some of you are not pushing yourself to go to your next level, to level up, to show up as a leader, to show up as an innovator, to show up as an influencer, to show up as an organizer, because you keep talking yourself out of it. And the more you keep talking yourself out of it, the more your reality is going to look like how it looks right now. That's it. So the first thing, if you are working hard, it impacts your success, or it can get in the way of your success, because you will likely not move up. You will always be the worker bee. The second thing that will get in the way of your success, if you're only working hard all the time, and by working hard, to some extent, I'm talking about those who overwork themselves, okay? And that leads into the risk of burnout. How many of y'all have experienced burnout? Now listen, if you work in the mental health field, you've experienced it at some point, because especially I remember when I first started working in the field, my first clinical job, outside of school, outside of my internship, you take on so much. and you're still learning how to leave the job at your job and not take it home with you. And so your mind is always focused on your clients or things you have to do, case notes you have to write, what needs to be faxed, what program are you linking a person to. There's always something that has to be done. And oftentimes you'll hear clinicians talk about burnout, but anybody can experience burnout. If you notice that you start to feel anxious on your way to work, you can't sleep at night because you're thinking about all of the things that you're thinking about all of the things that you have to do the next day. If you notice that you have, headaches when you're at your job, you can't really concentrate. These are all the signs of burnout. That you're irritable, that you get a little defensive. Burnout. You're not at your optimal level. You're not functioning at a place where you could. So you're not really bringing your A game. And so when you overwork yourself, it actually starts to work against you. Hence why it gets in the way of your success. There has to be a balance, because let's say even if you did get a raise, you wouldn't even be able to enjoy it because you'll be stuck in an office. How are you going to enjoy this extra money, right? So you run the risk of burnout, which gets in the way of your success because it'll keep you a few paces back. It's going to be really hard for you to move ahead if you have, issues concentrating. Your memory is all messed up. Like I said before, you're irritable, so you're snapping at people. Now folks don't want to work with you. They don't want to be on your team. So you have to take care of yourself. So aside from burnout, you also can become resentful. You can become resentful of your, and I'm laughing because I'm reading, I'm reading the comments, and I'm also remembering, some of the experiences I've had at jobs, where I started off by saying if you work at an organization and your hard work isn't appreciated, it's an issue. I remember working for an organization where good God, it was so toxic. It was so toxic. Thank God for shifts and transition. But I remember where all of the employees, all of the staff, they were always on edge. Everybody was on edge. And you had so many people who would, stay literally 2 hours past the time they were supposed to leave because they felt like they needed to impress the supervisors. They needed to always, be perfect. And it created such an unhealthy environment, and people became resentful. Now, some people stayed. I'm not one of those people, but some people stayed, and they tried to make it work. It didn't, and it won't, but that's okay. That's a different conversation. But you become resentful because you feel like the things that you are working on, you feel like the work that you're putting in, the time that you're putting in, it's not being rewarded or recognized. So then you start to question your ability. Again, it goes back to, it impacting your confidence. Well, am I good enough? Am I the right person to work here? Well, maybe I shouldn't work here. Such and such is better off at XYZ than me. And so now the limiting beliefs, they're creeping up even more, and your confidence is like going down the drain. So, and then you don't even want to show up to this place because it's not a pleasant experience at all. If you want to level up, if you want to go to your next level, you have to do more than just work extra hard. Of course, have good work ethic because you want to be seen as somebody who's reliable and dependable, but you have to have a balance. There has to be a work-life balance, because what you also notice, and this has to do with burnout and with resentment, is that you start to talk about your job to everybody, in your life. and not just talk about it. Everybody talks about their job, but everything with you has to go back to what's going on at your job. And so that can impact your relationships. So not only are you not moving up in your company, but now folk around you, now they don't even want to be around you because all you do is talk about your job. And it gets annoying and it gets boring and all you're doing is complaining. None of these things are going to set you up for success. None of these things are going to set you up to be in a position where you can truly lead and where you can get to where it is you want to go. Everything that I just said I can promise you this, it will keep you in a place where you will never feel satisfied, you will never feel fulfilled, and you will constantly be searching for your purpose. I said it before and I'm going to say it again. You have to have a clear vision on what you want for your life. And then you use where you are, you use the position you have to help you get to where it is you want to go. Most of y'all don't want to stay in the position you're in, and that's good because you want to grow, you want to elevate, and you want to evolve. But in order to do that, your mindset has to change. You have to show up to your company with the mindset of the position that you want. So the person who has the position that you want, what type of mindset do you think they have? What type of work ethic and work-life balance do you think that they have? And if the position isn't there, do you have the skills, right? Are you being, innovative and creating the position? That also shows that you're more than just a worker bee. You come to the table with ideas. You come to the table prepared. You come to the table with the mindset that says, I'm here, I'm present, and I'm confident, and I'm ready to tackle what you have. But also you know your value, so you're not just going to keep working, and not getting anywhere. At some point you have a conversation and you're like, yo, what's up? Either I'm getting promoted, I'm getting a raise, or, we're creating the position I'm talking about, or I'm going someplace else. If you allow yourself to just be the worker bee, you're only going to be the worker bee. And you're going to walk around having a lot of burnout, with a lot of resentment, and with, lacking self-confidence. Those limiting beliefs are going to start to play up in your head, and then you're going to feel like you're back at the starting point. That we don't want to go backwards. We only want to move forward, right? Forward and upward. That's because if you have a vision and you know what the vision is, then that's the direction that we're going to go in. So I say all this to say, the moral of this live is to know what you are working towards so that you can have a clear goal and you can have a clear vision. And as I said before, you want to make sure that you create balance. You have to have balance. Balance, and you want to also show your leadership skills. I'm just glancing over at the comments. Let me know if you guys do have any questions and I can answer them. Also, let me know how you are working toward building success. Keep in mind that success is going to look different for everybody, and so what success means to me might mean something different. In this video, I talked a lot about career and upward mobility and things like that because I think it's something that most people can relate to, especially if you live in the States. We're often, as I said before, we're taught that we have to work hard. We're taught that success means you have a lot of money and you have status and power. But there's so much more to success. So I just gave this example, like I said, because it's relatable. So just keep in mind, you want a clear goal, clear vision. You want to have a work-life balance. You want to be in an organization and you want to have a position where you feel valued, where you are appreciated, and it's helping you. It aligns with your purpose. That's something else really quickly that impacts a person's resentment. When you are in an organization and it has nothing to do with, I've experienced that too. It has nothing to do with your purpose. You start to really feel resentful because then you feel like the work you're doing doesn't really matter. Not saying it doesn't, but for you, you start to feel like you are missing something and something's lacking. So I just want you to keep these things in mind. You know, so yes, contrary to popular belief, if you only are working hard, work, and there's no balance, it can absolutely impact your level of success. And we want to level up, we want to move up, you know, we want to create the best lives possible. We want to boldly create the lives that we deserve. And in order to do that, you got to make some changes. So if you notice that you can relate to some of the things I mentioned in this video, you know, it's going to start with changing your mindset. You want to get a confidence mindset. You want to get a success mindset. And then you want your habits to follow, which that's another video. So I'm not going to go into too much detail right now. Thank you all, everybody, so much for watching. That's all I have for tonight. Again, as I said, let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I will definitely come back and answer. Give me 1 second. Oh, wow. So here's the thing. I actually have a video on that, and I just haven't posted it. So in one of the comments, it says that I should do a video on how to be assertive and self-advocate. And so that's coming after the next video that I'm going to post. So yeah, so if you do need help with being assertive, you make sure that you stay tuned for that video, because it's definitely coming. Thank you so much. Again, as I said before, everybody who's watching, whether you are watching live or on the replay, thank you. Thanks for hanging out with me. And as always, have a courageous night, and I'll talk to you all real soon.